Okay, welcome to the regularly scheduled select board meeting for May 6, 2021. Our first order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for coming. Are there any public comments that are not on the agenda?
Yeah, I just want to give you an update on what's going on Memorial Day.
Oh, there he is.
Reached out, the Shriners reached out to us. They would like to come. We've invited them. National Guard would like to put a truck in, so they're coming. Received a message from the MBU band leader through Wendy. So I have to reach out to them. They'd like to come, but they'd like to stop marching down here at the parking ride where they normally do to catch Swan's parade, now that Swan's having one. And Ty's gonna check into getting the little leaguers to ride on some floats or something, but if they wanna march, they can march. The monument's coming along. We got 5 out of the 6 flags. We're missing the POW that's been on back order for quite a while. I ordered the brackets and the holders from McEwen's. They'll be coming in next week. Ty, we're supposed to check with Heidi and we're waiting on concrete to find out exactly what's gonna happen there. Went to the St. Albans Police Department today and they're gonna try to have 2 officers here, one on 78 and 207 and one at Loop Street. The flagpole in the little park we put on hold due to the price and not knowing what the price of concrete is, because we're running really, really close to budget. And other than that, I got a hold of Charlie Magnet, allowed to leave a message with him, so I'm waiting to hear back from him. Other than that, things are coming good. Brian and Ty poured the front part where we took that L part out, so they poured straight across there. Ty did tell me tonight that Harrison wants 5 inches of concrete, not 4. So we'd have to dig down, and Ty said it wouldn't be able to be done till this weekend. Other than that, there's nothing. Only I had just one complaint, I ain't scared to say it. There's a complaint because the 2 end ones are 1 inch, less than 1 inch higher than the other original monument. But the bottom's flat, so it don't make a difference, you can't see it from the road.
Right.
If that's all we got for a complaint, I won't take much of it. And Ty is working with the 4th grade class on the flags. But that's all I have, that's the update.
Thank you, Kenny. Great.
Yep, I think everything's coming along really good. Hopefully Wendy's ordered the little flags.
Wendy, have you ordered the little flags?
No, I did, Keith. I ordered the little flags.
Okay,
And I gave you the 2 bills for her.
yes.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
While Keith is there and we're talking about flags, can I ask a question? And Joe is also in this meeting.
Yeah,
Why do we order the same grave markers every year? They're quite expensive. Are they stolen?
No. The grave markers that we ordered, we didn't have enough because you're talking about firemen, right?
They come from the American Legion in Enosburg.
Okay, well,
The holes are the flags that go on here. So we change them. We change those flags every year. We don't change the markers. I've never ordered markers. I don't even order them. Debbie Ralph orders them. So I don't know why she's ordering markers.
We ordered 4 markers this year because we had none on hand at this time. Just in case there's either some that are broken or they're stolen or they're not there when we go to put the flags out, we have them on hand.
Thank you, Joe. I was just curious why we
for this year.
order them every year. Yep, thank you.
Kelly, the small flags, the box of small flags, were those for Keith or for us?
There was a note on my desk to order flags for Memorial Day, so that's what I did. There was
They
no
were
map.
for me.
Oh, they're for you. Okay, so they're in my office, so. The small flags are in my office.
I'll meet with you, Joe.
Okay.
I'll read them till we're hanging. Oh, Joe,
You?
can we give 2 dinners to the police department?
Yes, you can.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Anything else for public comments?
This is Rebecca. I'm here with the library and we wanted to check in with the select board. We had materials for little free libraries donated and we had somebody build them for us for free. We have painted them and we are looking for permission to put them out in the community. We would like to put one along the walking path at the arena and we would like to put one other one in the park in Highgate Hall.
Rebecca, can you explain to people what a free library is?
Yeah, so a little free library it's a wooden structure. It looks like a little house. They're probably 3.5 feet tall and a foot and a half wide. And you put books in them and you can just take and leave books whenever you would like for free. There are some that are out in St. Albans, there are some in Swanton, and we finally have some for Highgate.
Does anyone have any objections or concerns? Okay, so I'd entertain a motion to allow the library to put up their little free libraries.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I'm gonna head back to the baseball game.
All right. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Any other public comments? Okay, so we'll move on to the St. Albans Police Department. Do we have a representative with us?
Lieutenant Weatherby and Chief Lamoth is also here.
Wonderful. Would you like to give us an update on Highgate police situation?
Sure, and I can try to answer any questions if you guys have any. I have some basic stats that we pulled. Obviously, in light of COVID, we've tried to reduce our number of contacts via traffic stops. We're still trying to be present, obviously, but not stopping as many. So we've got about 25 traffic stops since January 1. 9 directed patrols, public assists, motor vehicle complaints. There was 88 calls for service total. So we haven't been super busy out there, which I guess isn't a bad thing. Once things start to clear up a little bit with COVID restrictions, we plan on picking up our traffic enforcement. Chris, she's on here tonight. We had mentioned a little bit about ATV issues with the trail again. So I don't know, we can spend some time trying to deal with that as we have in the past. Trying to figure that one out, as always, is going to be a unique challenge, but we're open for suggestions. Anything specific you want to know from us? I mean, we're trying to do some of the community engagement things that we can get out and talk to people, not just in the village, but out on the back roads.
So for our peace of mind,
Yep.
how is the St. Albans Police Department doing as far as staff and their new budget restrictions? Are
Do
you?
you want to hammer on that one? I mean, the staffing.
I can
Go ahead.
kind of talk a little bit of that. So first of all, thanks for having us on here. So staffing is a constant challenge, right? We're not actually doing that bad though. With the loss of the town contract, which starts for us July 1st, we reduced down to covering St. Albans City, and then the additional work that we do for you all. That works out well for our current staffing. We are looking to hire a open patrol sergeant position, which we believe we solidified today with somebody that's going to be retiring from another agency after 20 years of service, and it looks like they're going to be joining us. And then we're looking to add 1 or 2 patrol officers the issue becomes not only is it hard to entice people into this profession, but with the current COVID restrictions at the academy level, it's a little more time consuming to get them into an academy. We have one new officer that's in the academy starting this week, which works out well for us, but he won't be on the road until fall, which is fairly timely. But the next class won't be until late winter after the new year. So late winter, early spring of next year. So if we get a couple of people on our payroll and our staffing, they won't be on the road till a year from now. But again, we're doing relatively well, given the circumstances with the current contract and losing the town, which isn't something we wanted to happen, but it did, and we're rolling with it, and it worked out okay staffing wise, and budget wise. That's just like every other municipality. We're dealing with the budget best we can. Timing for that wasn't great, seeing as how we're going into a brand new facility, which is much long overdue. But we're doing what we can with that. It's working out okay. We were there today visiting the new building and met with the project manager, and we're on pace to be in there. They were talking today August. That might be a little ahead of schedule. I think more realistically it would probably be September, but we'll be in that building at least by fall. And the budget's holding, so I think we'll be okay.
Good. Any questions for the police department?
Yes, I have one question.
Yes, sir.
When was the last time they ever gave a fine out for trash litter?
Well, I would have to defer to Lieutenant Weatherby, but I don't know when the last time we gave out a fine for trash or litter was.
I can look it up and get back to you, Butch. That's not a problem.
Okay, we just had green up and it was terrible this year, and Monday everything was picked up, and Tuesday we've got couches and chairs, and I didn't find any names. We have, turned a lot of names in. I just wondered if the people were, there's signs, the state has signs all over. I don't think we have any that say $500, but
I know I worked a case maybe a year or so ago where there were some tires that were dumped. I witnessed it, so I was able to do something about it. Other than that,
right. I just wondered if if the ones that the names were turned in, if they had to pay a fine.
Yes, if we can identify them, absolutely.
Yeah. Just a question I wanted to know. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, any other questions for the police department?
I got just a comment to Lieutenant Weatherby. As far as the rail trail goes, seems like evening activity on the weekend is what I'm seeing the most of.
Is that closer to Swanton Highgate border, or is it the full length?
I couldn't tell you east of Gore Road what's happening, but west of Gore Road, I think from probably Gore Road to Pearsall Road down by Harvest Equipment, I think getting quite a bit of traffic.
We can, I'll reach out to Fish and Game because they have some capabilities as well. If it's a weekend that you guys are seeing most of the issues, we can try to target specifically a few things. And like I said in the past, start with education and kind of go from there. And we've mentioned in the past, you guys are in a very unique situation because some of the surrounding areas, A, don't have 24-hour police coverage. B, it's not enforced. Blatantly will not be enforced. So, but that being said, that's not an excuse. We'll definitely do, we'll pick it up and see what we can do.
Well, I have some concerns because we're seeing a lot of uptick in recreational use as far as walkers, bikers. So that is becoming more populated with pedestrians. So those ATVs are now becoming not only a nuisance, but also a health hazard as far as the possibility of hitting someone.
Yeah. Chris, you said you were going to say something before I interject.
Yeah, just want to introduce myself. I'm Chris Sweeney. I live in Swanton, and I'm a pretty regular walker. I mean, I a lot of times start on the Fit and Healthy path in Swanton, but now that the LVRT is open, I walk east there up to, into Highgate. And so I sent an email, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago to Heidi and this James Gilmet, the chair of the select board in Swanton, about ATVs. And there's been a couple good things that have happened since then. One is that this past Tuesday night, the select board had gone to Chief Stell, and at Tuesday's select board meeting, they talked about it, and Chief Stell said he's going to work with the game wardens, about the ATV issue on the Swanton end. And today I walked the trail and it was unusually quiet, not one ATV, and I came across Josh Hungerford. He was, I think it was still in Swanton. I don't know exactly where the the line is between Swanton and Highgate, but he'd been out there, an hour and a half, and he'd already stopped 3 ATVs and was just educating them about the LVRT, and it's not, ATVs are not a permitted use. And at least one of the person was a kid, and he knew that it wasn't permitted, but that whole conversation, he was using it anyways. So that was really great to see Josh there, and he spread thin like everybody else, but that was really a positive thing. And he also said that tomorrow morning he's meeting with somebody from Vast on Wall Farm Road, and they're going to put up the no ATV signs. I've seen one of them sort of, I don't know, it's in the Highgate end, and they're probably just going to get taken down, but they're trying to do something. So they're going to do that tomorrow morning. So anyways, I realize it's just a really hard thing because everybody's spread thin, and the police are not on the trail, but it's been a really good response so far. That it's a brand new trail, and so we're just starting from scratch, sort of.
Yeah, I think it's like you said before, as far as education, and I think things, correct me if I'm wrong, have gotten a little bit better in Highgate as far as ATVs go. It's always that, what can we get away with? Where can we go? So hopefully that the education piece works, and we'll keep on it too.
Yeah.
Do you have the ability or the rights to impound those that you can't teach?
Well, if they're operating on a public highway, if they're not insured and registered, we could impound them.
Because it seems like the biggest problem is a teaching problem. They don't learn.
Well, yeah, that's true. It's an option.
I'm pretty sure that Josh said he gave out warnings today. I think well, I don't know how often he's been out there, but he's talked about not really wanting to give a ticket to a minor, and because if the parent's going to pay for it. But anyways, he's trying to make some inroads.
Okay, any other questions for the police? If not, I would say thank you very much for joining us, and keep up the good work.
Yeah, thank you to Jason and Chief Lamoth. I really appreciate any efforts you can do.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Joe, can you give us a quick fire department update before we open the truck bid?
There we go. I gotta find my unmute button. So far so good. Tanker needed some new tires. We found some dry rot on them. Butch, thank you for you guys taking care of that for us. That was up. We had to do that. Trying to think of some of the stuff that's been going on. Everything's been pretty quiet at the home front. COVID, I think we only have 4 members in the department that are still needing to get their shots, but everybody else has been vaccinated. And we're doing the Memorial Day barbecue. It'll be a drive-through barbecue. So hopefully that will go over pretty good. Still working out some of the details. I got to get with Keith and finalize some of the details on that. See what else is there. I think that's pretty much it. I was expecting a lot more wildland fires, but heck, we've been really good. So, the only question is that I have, and we're probably going to start getting into it, and that's going to be nuisance calls and burning trash and wood and all of that nice stuff. So I'm not exactly sure who writes the tickets or what we're supposed to be doing. I know that I was told my name was put down on there. So do I need to get with Wendy or Heidi to figure out the process of doing this, or what, how we are going to establish some sort of method of doing this?
Wendy, you have municipal ticket forms here, don't you?
I sure do. Shelby and I are fixing to be mailing tickets for dogs mid-May, so I can absolutely help you with that process, Joe. Happy to.
Okay. All right. That's good. So I'll touch base with you because I know that's going to be one of those things that are going to be coming up.
Yep.
So I'd like to get a heads up on that.
As far as tickets, I know at one point the select board talked about that we didn't, at the time, we didn't feel that you should be reliable for writing tickets, Joe.
Okay.
We talked about it, that we were gonna get with St. Albans City and let them, because it was just gonna make more trouble, and if there was a ticket, we were gonna get a hold of St. Albans City, because I feel it shouldn't be your responsibility, and I think there's a lot of things that could happen, and I don't think it needs to happen to a volunteer fire department writing tickets.
Well, I tend to agree with that. So that's kind of why I kind of brought it up right now, because I know this is going to come to a head, because last summer we had the same problem and we went around and around. Because if you call the city now, they say they don't issue tickets. So, so we're gonna have to probably get with them and sit down and finalize how that's gonna look like then. Or if you guys, the select board, wants to figure that out.
Heidi, who's on our list for writing municipal tickets besides myself?
There's several people. I can get the list for you after the meeting. There's the animal control officer, fire warden, zoning administrator, health officer. It's I'll send you the list.
Okay, all right, then we'll review it and then we can make a plan here for the future. Okay, so that leads us to the fire truck sale. Bids were put out, posted in the front porch forum, Vermont Bids website, St. Albans Messenger, County Courier, posted around town, on the website, Facebook. Go ahead and do the honors.
So who's our fire company that would like to?
I will say before you say anything that the select board does have the option to refuse any bid. Having said that, what do you have?
Well, this is the first time I've ever, do I just give out the person that's gave the bid and the number?
And what the number is,
Guy Schwanier, he gave the bid for $10,750.
Okay.
That's the only bid.
I would entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion that we accept the bid from P.E.G for $10,750 for the purchase of our old engine.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Schwanier just bought himself a fire truck.
Very good.
Joe, before you go,
Yes.
it was asked of me today, there's a resident of Swanton that's gonna be laid to rest next to the station here tomorrow. And they don't want a bunch of hoopla or nothing, but was asked if it would be possible if the trucks could just be parked on the apron, maybe tomorrow morning, maybe Gary or someone could do that.
Yeah.
Just to show respect, just out of respect.
Okay. And that's gonna be it. Okay. That's gonna be the cemetery right now over the side. Okay.
Yes, sir, right next to the station here.
Okay.
Thank you, Joe.
I will see what I can get. As soon as I get off here, I'll make some phone calls. I'll make it happen.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Okay, moving right along. Butch, you wanna give us a quick update?
Well, I guess, we'll be opening paving bids. We've got most of our gravel down on the roads. Rain has made them a little potholy, but we're catching back up. The sweeping is done. I don't know if you want to go on to a few concerns that we have, or do the paving bids first.
No, go ahead and, do your concerns and then we'll do the paving bids last.
Okay, well, on Hemp Yard Road, we have some landowners that are trying to access their land, and there's a beaver pond in the old Hemp Yard Road.
Yeah.
And I've looked at it with the state, and as far as the guy from the airport that works for the state, Mike Masco, we've looked at it together, and it looks like that section of road was given up years ago. It's class 4 to that. And then it is kind of abandoned, or is there a section that's trail? And then there's some that is given up completely. But they would, the appraiser is appraising the airport. Maybe you can explain that a little bit more, Heidi. I don't know if you know what's going on there. They're just appraising everybody's land, and these people can't really, they don't have good access, but it's on that part of the road that's kind of given up, and the beavers taking it over.
Well, I would just say we were never contacted by a landowner with a concern. It was just something that was mentioned from the appraiser that the state has hired to put values on the easements that they're issuing, the aviation easements over properties. So he just mentioned that it could affect the value of the property if they didn't have access.
They have access, but it's up to the selectmen to. Richard, did you hear anything?
No, I haven't.
Okay, because they've been trying to reach out to you. That's why they said they didn't get no response. So
No, I haven't heard anything from anybody.
Who was reaching out, Butch?
Mr. Cattell, the landowner.
Oh, okay. No one's contacted me either.
I just went down and inspected, just to look at it, and I know if the town brings the road back up to standards, no matter what they do down there, that it's going to be a garbage issue. I have pictures. There's hundreds of tires already. down there. And it being wetlands, you know, I'll have to get the pictures to you. I just got them this week, so I can get the pictures to you and you can.
Frontage road, right? You can get it in front of the.
Frontage road, and it goes all the way over to Popeye Farm.
Purvis, yeah, okay, yeah, all that.
But the Catell's used to have access by going across the state garage road that, you know, along the
Yes.
side of the airport. You could then get onto Hemp Yard Road. It was pretty easy, pretty good road, but last summer when the state put up all the new fencing, they cut it off. So it completely cut them off on the south and westerly side of the airport. Hemp Yard Road coming back through from Carter Hill has a culvert that collapsed. And like Butch says, the beavers have now started building a dam on the easterly side of the road, southerly side of the road, southeasterly, something like that. And Tell's property is effectively landlocked. Thanks to, primarily to the state, but.
So is that did a class 4 road go right through there?
Yeah, Hemp Yard Road.
So it came out through the sand pits up on frontage road, right?
Yeah, goes from the frontage road to Carter Hill Road.
But that is not all class 4 road. That is
What is it now, a trail?
is trail up to that wetlands is class 4.
Yeah.
And then it turns to trail. And then where it used to cross the airport, that it was just given up completely. That's discontinued road that goes towards the airport. And the airport can't give them a key to the gate because they'd be in the airport impoundment. So that's why they've got shut off from that way. But I don't believe that was ever a legal right away. The Hemp Yard Road, they still have a way to their land, but they're trying to figure out they want the town to fix it. My understanding.
Richard, can you reach out to Mr. Cattell and
The town's not responsible, right, Heidi, for fixing a trail or, I mean, I don't know, the wetlands is a big issue there. And
What's his first name?
Well, it's all in that class 4 and trail ordinance that I sent to you. I believe it's at the discretion of the select board on a case by case basis.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so Richard's gonna reach out to Mr. Cattell and see how that progresses from there.
Okay.
What else do you have for concerns, Butch?
Corey Lane, I had a call on Corey Lane. I don't know, I probably shouldn't even go there. Heidi, did you have a meeting this week on that, or was that the?
Michael
Okay.
Johnston, the zoning administrator, had a meeting on it.
Right. It was.
It's an issue that the zoning administrator is working on, I believe.
Okay, yeah, I just was asked to check on it, so. Okay, I guess that's all the issues I have.
Okay, so
This is
we're gonna go forward and open the bids for paving. Bids have been requested for a 1/2-inch shim and an 1.5-inch overlay on Lambton Street, 2.2 miles, and it's listed as 22 inches, so we're gonna make sure that any bids understand that that is actually 22 feet wide. Cross Street, 600 foot long, 22 feet wide. Mill Hill Road, 220 foot long, 22 foot wide in front of the library. Decatur Street, 460 foot long, 22 feet wide. School Street, 350 feet long, 22 feet wide. And the Macy Road, 4,769 feet long, 22 foot wide, starting near the bridge to number 2221.
Question.
Yes?
Heidi, were you able to reach out to the engineer on Lincoln about that little piece of grass between the sidewalk and the edge of the road?
Yes, and it's not promising, but I started the conversation. He said he was gonna chat with some of his management about it and see what was possible.
Because it would seem to me a white line would be just as much of a safety barrier as a piece of grass and mud that's a foot and a half wide. So I'm just curious if you were able to find anything out.
Nothing definite, no.
Thank you.
Okay, on that, tidbit file, that's, I know Heidi had said it wasn't designed to do that, which I believe that to be true now, because it's a drainage issue. It was I have to say it's a real poor design that the sidewalk is lower than the road. And it's gonna be an issue that we're gonna have to address. That space is gonna have to be some kind of drainage. And we have a drainage system that goes right on the end of Lampkin from Mill Hill to Lampkin. So I think it's gonna have to be tied into that all the way almost to the cemetery. That whole road is, there's no place for it to drain. It's sandy, it drains if it's not froze, but I think we're gonna have to leave it the way it is now. Kyle, my thoughts that if we do anything different, that we're gonna have to tear it back up to put drainage. And I think that's the only way we're gonna cure that problem of the sidewalk being lower than the road, is to have, some drainage.
Okay, thank you. I was just looking at that because it's up past, like you said, it's almost to the cemetery where the ponding pooling starts. My only thought was, obviously I'm not an engineer, and but if you could possibly have that road pitched, so if that was all asphalt, that you could actually pitch it towards Mill Hill to bring the water to that end.
Right.
I didn't know if you could do that by simply, when you're laying the asphalt, you could do it like that, or obviously, like I said, it's probably not doable, but thank you for asking, Heidi, and thank you much.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was gonna work, but it would have worked if we just paved to the sidewalk. But after, Heidi said it wasn't designed that way, then I got looking more, and I think that if we just blacktop what we have, and then we're gonna have to sit down and have them design something that we can get the water, because it does pitch the other way, Kyle. I don't think it pitches enough to do what you're saying. Like I say, I'm not an engineer, so that's something they're gonna have to study.
Thanks, Buck.
Good.
Okay, so bids. Bruce, you wanna go first?
Okay, W. Whitcomb Construction Corporation. For School Street, Cross Street, Decatur Street, Mill Hill Street, Lampkin Street, Macia Road. appears the total bid is $381,024. However, it says traffic control, butt joints, roadways, pavement, truck laid, compacted, sweep for paving, RS1 emulsion applied between lifts of pavement. Excludes gravel / wrap, shoulders, line striping, structure adjustments, excavation of pavements, topsoil and seed.
Could you just say that price one more time, a little louder?
$388,024. And they have proper, why looks to me like a proper certificate of liability insurance.
Okay. All right, Richard.
I'm gonna for paving. Provide, traffic control, Mill Hill asphalt, transitions, sweep road, Y 4S-1, tack coat, pave half, shim and half overlay. Does not include line striping. Lincoln Street, 252,800. Cross Street, amount 13,114. Mill Hill Road, 4,819. Decar Street is 10,133. And Macy Road, 7,663. Total, 288,429.
Okay.
Who was that, Richard?
That was Hungerford Paving.
So my question is, when you read that it was 1/2 inch shim,
Yep.
it's what for an overlay?
One and a half overlay.
Okay, all right. I thought you had said just a 1/2 inch overlay, so I just want to
No,
make sure.
1.5.
Okay,
I got Pike Industries, Cross Street, Decatur, Mill Hill, School Road, Lankin Street, Macy Road. They just have a total of $389,058. And they do have a certificate of liability insurance with it.
okay. Does Hungerford have their insurance with the bid?
No. No.
Heidi, do we have insurance on file for Hungerford paving?
We might, but we didn't require it just for a bid, so we certainly can get a copy from them.
Okay,
But it was, did you get, it was half shim, right?
Half inch shim.
1/2
Yeah,
inch shim.
okay.
They all did the same.
Yeah.
It's the same
Just
spec.
wanna make sure that.
Butch,
Yeah,
do you have a preference, concern, question?
Yes, did any one of those three put the price per ton? That's what we're really looking at.
Pike Industries was 73.20 a ton.
FW Wickham is $71.75 per ton.
Yeah, $79 a ton for, Hungerford paving.
Oh, so they've got different tonnage.
Yeah, because we got different tonnage.
Right, yeah. That's what I was wondering, that's what I was looking at.
Yeah.
Right. That's where we've run into trouble before. That it's a low bid and we're not getting the material we need. You know, I advise you to look at the tonnage price. That's what, that's what it all goes on.
So that should be,
Yeah, 5 and 5,400. 8 tons. So the Hungerford looks low, like a lower bid, but
well, for example, on Macy Road, Pike Industries is 327 ton. And I'm looking at Macy Road, 97 tons from Hungerford.
Right. The last time, 2 years ago, it was the same thing when we did the paving Mill Hill. I don't know if it was all of it, but Mill Hill, Hungerford was way under, but it was, a lot less material. So we can't cut back on the material like that. We won't have the job we need. That's all I say there.
Is that the difference in price between Hungerford and the other two?
Well,
Material?
it certainly appears that would be huge as far as looking at Pike's tonnage on Lincoln Street. Of course, this is the first time I've ever really looked at one of these. They've got 1,055 tons of type 4 and 2,547 tons of type 3. Lincoln Street, and then go over here, and he's got a total of 3,200 tons for Lincoln Street. Yeah, that's where the price difference is huge, is the amount of material.
Right.
Yeah.
And Butch and I ran into last year when we were closing, or the last time we closed out one of the paving grants, the state wanted to see the material sheets for each truck because they wanted to ensure that there was like only a certain amount of recycled material going back in. Do you recall the details of that, Butch?
Not really, Heidi, to be truthful. I know
Well,
we went over it, but I don't remember.
Well, the crux of it was that the state really wants to ensure that they're getting their money's worth too when they pay for a paving grant. They've had some companies that gave less than top quality material.
But we had looked at that, do you remember how that played out? Was there?
We were fine. Our material
yeah.
was well within range.
Because we have used Pike in quite a few years in the past, and really good work. They've done really good work. Whitcomb, I can't remember, since I've been here 18 years. I don't think we've gone with.
Who's got the most tonnage?
I don't know if we've gone with anybody but Pike. So that's up to the selectmen to.
Calculator, but
It's a close.
it comes out a total of 5,408. I don't calculate everything. Is there a calculator on this? Yeah.
They're just doing some tonnage comparisons.
I can do head scratch here, please. I can do this.
Are both Whitcomb and Pike's bids within what is budgeted for the paving?
Well, it's not separated. We shouldn't have put that Macy Road in there. It should have been a separate bid for the Macy Road, so we would know. I guess you can figure it by the ton. As long as you add the ton, you can figure that way. I think if you figure it by the ton, We should be under a little bit.
Okay, were you able to hear Kyle? Kyle, say that again, please.
Wickham is 5,408 ton, and Pike was 5,315 ton.
Okay, for a Macy Road.
No, that's
that's
the
total.
total for the job, for all the whole job.
Okay. Okay, yeah, total for the job. Ty's question was, do I have enough? I don't recall, Heidi, on the Macy Road, what we were allowed.
What you were allowed, meaning what you
What's the
applied
grant?
for a grant?
If we get the grant, how much are we allowed?
Give me a minute. I have the grant sheet here.
And, you know, how much?
We budgeted a total of 318,000 for paving, and then if Butch gets a grant, it would be that amount on top of it for paving.
Going on there.
Well, so Richard is bringing up the concern that we talked about leaving the Macy Road because of the slide potential and trying to get that under control.
Right, yes. We talked about that last time too, Sharon.
Yeah.
That we're stopping, we're not, the paving grant wasn't in the work zone. It was, you know, from the bridge to Ira's old property, like Heidi, you said the number 221 or 2.
Yeah, 2221.
2221, yes. We'll be stopping there, so we'll not be, and Sharon, you had a concern before, you know, is the truck, you know, working on that project gonna, you know, affect that blacktop? And I feel if it's done right, it shouldn't affect it. You know, because the trucks that are gonna be doing the construction aren't, you know, what's damaging the road. It's the farm equipment and, you know, the overload stuff, the construction stuff is gonna stay in the road limit, the weight wise. So I don't feel they're gonna break the road up.
Okay, so you're comfortable leaving the Macy Road as part of this bid?
If we get the grant. If we don't get the grant, we're not gonna do it.
Right.
And that's said in the bid, right, Heidi, that it's contingent on if we get the grant.
Yes.
Yes.
So if you just take the tonnage for that Macy Road and times it by the 7320 for Wickham and do the same 79 for Pike, it will answer Ty's question, you know, do I have enough for 318,000?
Does Whitcomb specify what material they use? Are they able to meet the grant criteria that you were just speaking of? We know Pike can.
Pike, say that again, Shelley. Pike.
Pike, we already know that Pike will be able to meet the grant criteria as far as recycled material.
Yeah.
My question is, does Whitcomb specify in their bid what material they use? Will we run into any issues when closing this grant with the state? If we were to get it and go with Whitcomb?
That's a good question.
Butch said that you haven't used Whitcomb in as long as you've been here. So I guess that would be my only concern is, are we going to run into issues not knowing what material they are using?
That's type 4. Anybody know what that is?
Shelley did receive a check back, or did you get a check back from Pike last year? Because the price of liquid went down after they did refund us, or how did they do that, Shelley?
No, we paid the lower amount.
Okay.
You're $104,181 for the Macy Road for Pike, $104,252 for Wakeham. They're almost identical. Macy Road.
So you're well within your budget to track Mason Road.
Yes. That leaves us enough for our shoulder work. And we're gonna need, when we do the Gore Road, we're gonna use a little paving there too, so by the time we, get done, we should be looking pretty good at that bid that brought Pike to 285 on ours.
So Butch, have you been having any service issues with Pike?
None whatsoever. I'm real pleased. They've done an awful good job for us. They're right local. The blacktop is hot when they put it down. That's another issue. If it comes, it's supposed to be guaranteed. It's hot enough, but when it's coming out of Winooski, if anything happens, it sets a while. They're supposed to guarantee it don't cool down too much, but on the state jobs, the engineer will be there testing it, so it would have to be right. But I just know, working with Pike, they've helped us out a lot in the 18 years I've been there, figuring things out and budgeting and that. So that's all I got to say. Pike has been excellent to work with. And I haven't worked with Whitcomb, so I can't say.
Okay, so what's the board's thought?
If he's happy with Pike and, and it's, the bid's not very much off, if he wants to go with Pike, I'm okay with Pike.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Bruce?
Vern? There's $1,034 there between Pike and Wickham. Our road manager says it's worth the extra $1,000. I guess we go.
Okay, so.
Just see the insurance, proof of insurance.
Yeah, I thought we had it. Yeah, but Pike's
Pike
got it.
certificate, liability certificate.
Okay.
So let's make it a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, so a motion's been made and seconded to approve the bid for $389,058 for Pike at $73.20 a ton. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right. Butch, that it for you?
It's, as far as I'm, just let you know, we are on our 410s now. Officially.
Okay.
Anything else for me? Anybody have any questions?
Those that have been on budget, doing a good job, doing a really good job. Thank you very much to you and your crew.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank
Butch,
you.
did you decide to do the Durkee Road for your grant and aid project?
No, we decided on Tart Road.
Tart
Okay.
Road.
Yeah,
Tart.
it's already been started. Tart Road and a little short section of Boucher Road that was not finished. So I think we'll have enough to do both of those sections.
Great.
That stone line ditch.
Okay, thank you very much, Butch.
Okay, you're welcome.
Moving on, Shelley.
Hello.
Hello.
I'll be real quick. Check warrant should be right in front of you.
Tax list, if anybody's interested. So has everyone had a chance to look at the check warrants?
Yes.
Any questions?
Nope, none.
Okay, can I have a motion to sign the check warrants?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any questions about the budget? Shelley, you got any other thing for us while we sign the check?
I'll give a real quick update while you're signing that to everyone listening. The delinquent taxes are down $65,306.11. One page, which is amazing. And unfortunately, I will be starting the tax sale process next month. So if you haven't had a chance to get a hold of me, please do. We're now back in the office. The front door is open 9 to 4, Monday through Thursday, or, by appointment. We can make an appointment for a Friday if that works best, or for a different time. But I would encourage everyone to get a hold of me that needs to.
Shelley, just a totally different subject. I have the old, the books for the fire department, back when Jane was doing the books for him.
Yes.
I'm assuming you want.
We will hold on to them, yes. We'll put them up in the upstairs vault just in case we ever need to look back on something. So you can drop those off anytime.
I was gonna bring them tonight, but of course forgot, so I just remembered it and wanted to make sure that you were the person that was, should have those.
Sure, I will take them.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, anything else for Shelley? Okay. All right, thank you very much, Shelley.
Thank you.
Wendy.
Yes, I'm here. Minutes from April 15th.
Okay, has everyone had a chance to look at the April 15th minutes? We have a motion to sign. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Shelley mentioned we did start our new office hours on Monday. Didn't take long for people to figure out we were open. We've been quite busy. Tuesday in particular was a little crazy, but we're doing title work by appointment. That has also continued to stay very busy. So yes, the front door is open 9 to 4 for regular town business, and Fridays we're going to be closed to the public. Get some work done. So May 15th, I am going to be meeting with Shelby, and we are going to be writing tickets for dogs. So my question to you is Shelby signing tickets if other town officials are not?
I don't have any problems with her signing municipal tickets.
Right, neither do I. Vonnie always did it, and Shelby did it last fall. I guess my question is, why some and not others?
Well, my feeling is, if you've ever been to a fire scene or a burning garbage or something, sometimes it gets a little out of hand, Shelley. Is this way they're getting them in the mail, and I just think it's a lot better if law enforcement was at some of those calls. With fire burning stuff.
Are you thinking they're gonna be issuing tickets on a fire scene, like on the spot?
Well, I just, probably not, but I feel that if it happens again, they know it came from the fire chief. I think we're asking too much. And what's happening here is you're sending them. I think it's a little different. I've been on some of those calls where they get a little bit rough, and I've seen sheriffs at some of them, and it's a good thing that we have them there. That's my feeling of it.
I'm gonna have to agree with Wendy on this, that it needs to be consistent across the board.
Well,
also,
I don't care which way you decide. I just feel it needs to be consistent.
Yeah, I don't have any problem signing them. I'll sign them all.
No, Shelby doesn't have any problem signing them for hers. I think it should be consistent. I understand the concerns behind it. But there's a list of people that are authorized to sign tickets, and nobody but Shelby is doing it.
I
That's all.
I think the fire calls can be mailed too. I mean,
I don't see why not.
I don't think it has to be a ticket mailed, a municipal ticket handed in person at the time.
Yeah.
There's also other people involved, and I know that there was this Barry Dominant involved, and I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable. There's more people involved on a fire situation.
Yeah, but if you try to take somebody's dog, you could get shot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
My opinion on this is because of what they just said. I mean, at the time, during the incident, quite often there's alcohol involved or other things, and so it does get heated because I've seen it myself.
Yeah.
However, the ticket's not being issued at that time, and I do agree that it should definitely be consistent.
Yeah.
With who's writing the tickets. I don't think there should be an issue if we had the fire chief do it. It's just my opinion.
I mean, you guys can talk about it more, but I am getting together with Shelby after the 15th of May to start her process. So you guys had mentioned it earlier, so I just wanted to clarify what the expectation was.
Okay. Yeah, let us figure out a way to make this the same for everyone.
Okay. All right. And the only other thing, I left some fire warden paperwork on the table for you guys. You had already made a motion back in March to reappoint David DeSorsi. That's the state paperwork I left on the table that needs to be signed by the board. If you could just sign that and leave it for me.
Okay, we're on it.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Okay, Heidi.
I can be quick too. I have one grant agreement for you, and this is for the Macy Road project. It's an amendment. So you started out with 734,000 for the Macy Road project, and then we applied for additional funding a second year. So this is an amendment to add 660,000 to that. You should have a copy in front of you for signature.
Yes.
Okay, so if you can approve and sign, I will get this back to them.
Okay, so this means that our total award for the grant for Macy Road is $1,394,800 even from the state of Vermont. And this is, just through stormwater?
I'm sorry, say again?
Is that all part of the stormwater, grant?
It's through V-Trans. It's money for, I believe it's for the Clean Water Fund. So it's to address environmental and stormwater issues.
So, need a motion to approve,
Yes.
so moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, yep. It is signed.
Right. I put the emergency operations plan under select board. So an annual update of our operations plan. So we did have to change several emails for school addresses, etc., and just a few other changes.
The only question I had was D&M Enterprises, who's that?
You know, I don't know. I believe it is a
It's Travis LaFountain. They moved to Florida.
so that can be taken out.
Yeah, I don't think Dan Hazard and Son Excavating are in business any longer either.
Okay, we can take those out.
Are there any other excavating people that are in the area that should go on our emergency? GWT drill, Lamont Excavating, Bockish, Roy Bockish. Is he still in the trucking business or did he sell his truck?
I don't know.
Like he said, I think so was struck, didn't he?
Oh,
So
he
too, when he had
did,
his-
okay. It must be just lately then, huh? Because last fall he brought me stone, so.
Well, he has one ton, if that's the truck you're referring to.
No, it was.
You got a big truck, you got a demo?
No, I don't think it was it was a single axle.
Oh, you may have that, you may have some lots.
Okay, any other changes or concerns about this?
Well, are you talking with all the excavation companies?
Well, what this does basically
Around.
is gives us a contact list. So it's like when the flooding happened, there was a list of who, the phone numbers are here, who to call, what to do, who to contact, what you have for, people in a hot zone. Everything from the dam contacts down here so that, you know, you have Swan Village and all these people that you would or could possibly need in an emergency. So the excavating companies are just, you know, you need help getting trees moved, you know, what is your disaster? You know, that you might need to have heavy equipment.
The folks that did the bridge, Sears,
St. Ange,
St. Ange.
Yeah.
That's be the closest big one I can think of.
Heidi, under, local resources, other local resources,
Yes.
could we add, AL St. Ange?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any bridge or culvert work possibly? And how about, Wright's Excavating?
And who was
Yep.
it that worked? Who was it that worked with the Butch on Mill Hill?
Good Hugh.
Not Good Hugh. So yes, he's another one that has worked with the town.
I took the list to be there, some locals, but I'll plug them in and see what they say.
Deals for fast response.
Okay, so do you want me to sign this or would you like to edit it first?
No, I think you're good to sign it. The information you're talking about is on the back section and I can
Correct.
update that.
Okay.
Make the motion, you sign the emergency list.
All right, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. What else do we have?
That's it for me.
Okay. So for select board, I have been asked by Ferdinand Gagne and the Field Days Committee if the town would send a letter supporting their demolition derby. They want that to happen again this year, and they need to apply to the state for a racing permit, is what he called it. And with that, he needs to have approval from the town. So if the board is in agreement, a letter could be drafted and sent to Ferdinand so that he can apply for his racing permit for the field days.
Make the motion to approve
A letter of support.
a letter of support for field days or have a demolition derby.
Second. Yeah. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, Heidi, can you handle that? Take and write a support letter for Ferdinand Gagne?
I think we've done it in the past, so there should be a template.
Yeah, and he said just mail it to him.
Will do.
Okay, perfect. And Rebecca already talked to us about the free libraries, so that's all I had, unless somebody has something else. Okay, and my last comment would be that a lot of people are very happy about the monument and the work that's being done to honor those people, so getting a lot of good feedback from that.
Good.
So, okay.
Karen, I got just one thing just to keep the select board in the loop.
Yeah.
Rec had our meeting Monday night and Bethany from Regional Planning attended. Working on getting a kiosk for the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail. And because it's a state trail, there's hoop jump through and stuff. So we're doing a site visit with Bethany next week. Just wanted to keep the select board in a loop on that.
Yep, great.
One last thing I got for Highgate residents concerned about Route 7 between Rick LePan's Automotive and Rick Trombley's house. They can contact the District 8 Jim Coder there, and it's gone to the, I guess, the Montpelier level. They're going to do the culverts this year, and they're going to do the paving next year, but because the road is in such bad shape right now with huge chunks of road being picked up by farm equipment and trucks, they're actually going to pave part of it, the worst parts of it, if you've been down there. So they promised that would be done by the end of May, for those that are concerned about that. That's all I got.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. I saw the pictures and stuff. Thanks a lot for following up with that, Vern. That does look real dangerous.
Yeah. Do we have any reason to go into executive? Yeah, I will take that as a no, so.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Sorry, no.
What did she say?
What did you say, Heidi?
I said no.
No.
Okay. So do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much, everyone.